Hello guys. So in this comprehensive series, I'm going to cover topics of Unity from very basics to very advanced level. So if I'm talking about the basics, that I'll start from the Unity engine itself, like talking about the different tools, different panels, different windows, and everything about the Unity window and the different layouts that we can use, and taking you from these various basic concepts, covering visual scripting concepts, C# concept, and till very advanced topics that are multiplayer gaming and optimization, analytical tools, and everything. So let me show you first what I've created. So this first-person shooter game, I've created it within a week, but now I can create the similar kind of game within 2 days. And if you watch this Unity series completely, then definitely you can also make these kind of games within 2 days. So this game covers a lot of concepts. Like you can see, I can control my player, and I can even move my player with the help of arrow keys or maybe AWSD keys. And definitely there is a lot of sound options. Like if I shoot, it will show the it will play the sound effect. It will play the anime, like flash effect and all. And if I move, and if I these enemies are AI enabled. Like these enemies use the concept of AI. So this enemy is right now walking and standing, so it is using different kind of animations as well. But if I get closer to it, it will start running, and if I get even closer, it will start attacking me. And it will start attacking me. So there is different sound effects, like when they are shooting cannon, when this enemy is shooting cannon at me, and when I am shooting bullets at them. So these are different sound effects. Okay, now this enemy starts running, so it is having different animation. And if I go and shoot this enemy, so it will have a different animation. So like if I hit the enemy, it is having a different kind of animation. And if I make it die, so it will have a different kind of animation. So these all concepts we are going to cover. Like I can control my enemy, and how to create these like the block I'm standing on. This is a structure where the enemies are standing on. How to make the enemy run, how to make the enemy chase, how to make the enemy shoot, and how to control the players. And each and every concept that you see in this game is a concept of Unity itself. So though this game doesn't use very advanced concept, beside one or two, like using the AI concepts and the animations and all. So let me show you one more game, so that where I have covered where I have created, like, use the very basic concepts. Okay, here is a snake game. So this game I've created when I was not much familiar about the Unity itself. So what mistakes I've made, what I've learned, and what are the flaws. And definitely you need to know these sort of things, because definitely I have used in this game, I've used different scenes instead of creating different panels. But let me show you. Okay, so in this game, first I have created a login page. Okay, let me wait for it to get started. Okay, so this is a scene. This is, instead of making it a panel, I've created an entire scene. And by default, because I haven't connected this game with a backend, so by default its username is username and password is password. So if I enter something else instead of username and password, it will show me the error. It will show me the message that login failed. Okay, you can see login failed because I haven't entered the correct detail. So I've implemented this logic as well in using the C#. But if I enter the correct details, that is username and password, so it will allow me, it will debug the message that you have login successful, and it will redirect me to the other scene, that is user scene. And from here we can go to leaderboard scene, which contains a scroll bar with the rank scoreboard and all. I can go back to my original scene, which displays me the image of the player, username, their rank, number of games they have played. And then definitely I can start playing my game, which have this nice little snake I've created at my own, and the concept of foods. So this strawberry is a kind of normal food, and this pumpkin is kind of a bonus food. So if I eat this strawberry, my snake will grow with 1 unit, and my score will grow with 5 points. And if I eat this pumpkin food, my snake will grow with 3 units, and my score will increased by 50 points. Okay, and if I hit the wall, my snake is gonna die, and it will show me the options of replay button. So the scores, how score is dynamically updating, how foods are randomly generated, how to control my snake, and this definitely this button. This is a part of Unity UI, and these walls and these foods are having colliders. So these are concept of physics, how I'm controlling my snake, how when should my snake die. This is part of logic building. So all of this concept, but yeah, definitely what mistake I have made in this game is that instead of making different panels in the same scene, I've created different scenes. So it takes a bit more time to load the scenes, and if I have to build my game, like to publish my game or build my game, I have to include all the scenes in my build setting so that everything works fine. Like here, I've included all the scenes. Okay, so these are the kind of games that I have created using Unity, but I want you to make these kind of games an even better game. So the topics I'm going to cover are these. So this topic list I've created in Unity so that you can understand the concept. So the flaw that I was talking about in the previous game, that instead of using different panels, I've created different scenes. So and by using these panel, what I have optimized in this is a concept of object pooling as well. So we are going to talk about the object pooling as well, which is a bit of advanced concept. So in object pooling, we, instead of recreating the same thing and destroying the same thing, we just deactivate and activate the same thing so that our process time can be lesser. Okay, so we are going to cover the concepts like Unity, about the Unity engine and about the Unity IDE, sprites and all. Definitely we are going to talk about C# from very basics till all the concepts like loops and functions and all. And definitely we are going to cover the input system that I've shown you, how I can the input system is used in both of those games. Like FPS, I'm able to control my player, I'm able to move my player, and even in a snake game, I was able to change the direction of my snake using my arrow keys and all. And definitely we are going to talk about the physics concept, that is colliders and materials and all. And we are going to also cover the primitive data and maths as well, and the logic building part, that is if else and switch cases as well. We are also going to talk about sorting layers, how to organize your game, what is the concept of parent and child. Okay, let me show you the parent and child concept as well. So okay, this is suppose this is okay, this canvas or any, if I'm talking about this enemy, so this enemy object, though this is a prefab, is a parent object, and what lies inside of it are the child. Like these all concepts, like enemy, what is the dress of enemy, skin of enemy, their weapons, these are child of this enemy object. Okay, we are going to cover these things in detail in future videos. So, and then definitely I'm going to cover the object oriented. And one specific thing I would like to mention here is that I'm also going to cover about the data oriented design that we generally use in game designing. This concept is, I haven't mentioned it here, but definitely I'm going to cover that as well. How do we make games, what are prefabs, how to invoke things, and what are the errors, how to handle the errors, and definitely we are going to talk about the loops and all. What are the game design strategies, how do we document the things, but definitely these are the advanced concepts. Like the game designing and all is a bit of advanced concepts that I'm going to cover later in this series. But initially we are going to focus more on learning about Unity and C# so that you can start making your own things or your own games. What is virtual world, definitely about the scrolling games like a parallax effect and a wrapping background. That means when like the games like Flappy Bird and all, where you are constantly moving ahead, like in one direction or any direction, or maybe in both directions. So these parallax effects and scrolling background are used. We are going to cover that as well. Animations, definitely I've showed you the concept of animations in my FPS game, that players are different, like when they are standing, when they are moving, when they're walking, when they are shooting, when they're running. So these is all I have achieved with the help of animations. Sound effects, definitely if you have voice sound effect as well, like when I was shooting, there is different sound effect. When the enemy is shooting cannon at me, there is different sound effect. Joints, the other physics concept as well, and multiple scenes, like we have I've shown you the concept of multiple scenes as well in the snake games, like the scenes are loading. And in this topic, like in this Unity topic game, I've created, I've used just a concept of panel. These are most of the UI panels. This is a panel. On top of that, I've created one image, background image. On top of that, this is just a simple white image. On top of that, I've created this text animation, and I've got the buttons So these are mostly UI components of Unity. Definitely, we are going to cover the topic of artificial intelligence. I've already told you about the artificial intelligence in my FPS game. That how do enemy know when to shoot, when to run, when to walk, right? Okay, then we are going to talk about user interfaces like UI buttons and all. Definitely, you are seeing this entire topic list is created with the help of Unity UI, and then the other concept like game art, color theory, and all. And definitely, we are going to talk about how to publish these games on different platforms. Like if you want to create a WebGL of the game, maybe you want to publish it for Windows, for Mac, for Linux, or maybe for your smartphones. Okay, then we are going to move toward more advanced concept like advanced scripting concept. What are delegates and events? What is yield? How to yield and coroutines, definitely. And definitely I have to talk about the optimization, that is garbage collection, object pooling, and all. And definitely one of the most advanced topic is multiplayer and how to use how to create networking in Unity so that different player can play different scene. So these are the most basic concept that I'm going to cover, but definitely this doesn't cover all the concept. If there is any concept you would like me to cover, definitely comment down below. I'll try to cover that topic as well. And this entire series, this entire course, I can say, is going to be very practical. I will try to include as practical things instead of just putting theories, so that it could make sense to you instead of becoming a boring course. And definitely we are going to talk about the theories when needed, when we are talking about the C# and concepts. But even that time I'll try to put more of practical concepts and hand-on practice as well. So that's it for now. So stay tuned and see you later.